Hot here. Pick it up like right there, right there, right there.
Now.
Okay, we ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
I think we're already on, but we're going to do it anyway. Good morning. How are y'all?
Doing good.
We're playing over here with the potentiometers. For you folks who don't, all you've heard is pots, right? These things are pots, but they're really called potentiometers.
Right.
But that's too hard to say in a hurry, right?
Right.
Those things on the board, the console over here that makes the audio go up and down. And I got one that's kind of dirty or something, and it's just the audio slips through sometimes when it's turned off.
Yeah.
I'm Rayford Brown.
I'm Kelly Knapp.
And I'm Lee Barrows.
And Kelly's back here.
Mm.
Are we smiling today? Everything turn out okay?
Nothing ever turns out okay. So,
Nothing.
No, we're gonna fix it though.
Okay. It's good.
Yeah.
I still got some of that stuff that we
No.
used to work on boats with that can really do a good job.
No,
And it is forever.
she's got a plan. She
Oh,
claims hers
my.
is forever.
Oh my.
Mhm.
When those folks start making plans, that means banker, I need some help.
She's a great dentist.
We were having a discussion
Hmm.
yesterday, the day before. I need to get you to make all of the appointments that I will ever need for the rest of
For
my
you?
life, because you can get in before you ever have the problem. You can get in and fix things with doctors.
Hmm.
I call and they say, "Are you in pain?" Well, yeah, it hurts like on a scale of 1 to 10. How bad? 8. Well, when it gets to 9, call me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
You got to ask for the max amount of pain.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
12.
I'm at a 40. Yeah. And yeah. So
I'm driving down the street and I've got a baseball bat and I'm looking for somebody that looks old that I can beat up on. Does that tell you how much pain I'm in?
yeah.
Okay, come on.
I was just worried it would get worse.
Well, it'll get more better before it gets worse. You want to hear funny to begin with this morning?
Do it. I know you want us to hear it, so go ahead. Do
I
it.
think I've probably already heard it.
Okay. No.
We were going through a slew of jokes this morning.
Do infants enjoy infancy as much as adults enjoy adultery? Okay, they get more lame after that one.
They get worse.
Yeah,
Worser?
a lot worse.
Do they get worse?
They can't. It's something he comes up with. There's no way.
Oh, no, you should have heard the ones earlier.
Oh, I got some good ones. I've got them
gee.
for the next month or two over here.
No.
He's
Yeah.
reading at Quora. I know that's where you're getting them, right?
No, this one came from somewhere else.
Probably the person that sends him the jokes sometimes. His
Yeah,
friend.
I do have a few perverted friends,
Well, no, we've heard those. And
and they're scattered all over
some of
the
those you
world.
like. These are hilarious. I'm just like shaking my head. Like,
Because you
oh
don't
my
get
God.
them. That's all.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I'll ask you a riddle then. What is the shortest sentence in the American language, U.S. language?
Period.
The shortest sentence.
Period.
I'm sorry.
No,
Oh.
I am.
Okay, I agree with that.
So what's the longest sentence?
I'm not.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I do.
Oh,
Y'all.
The guy named Alexander II, he was the ruler of Russia beginning in 1885.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He went in with lots of good plans and all that sort of good stuff to take care of problems and to give Russia back to the people. Well, and in 1881, 2 years after this group called the People's Will, I want you to think that Russia had a group of people called the People's Will. What is our anti-government group called? There are various people out there, right?
There's too many to
Everything from sovereign citizens to whatever,
Yeah.
right? They're anti-government.
We
Well, the People's Will, they organized in 1879, and while good old Tsar Alexander II was riding around, they chunked a bomb at him and they killed him in 1881.
Okay.
Would you believe his son took over after him? How would you like to be that guy? And he ruled until the next ridiculous leader of the Russian empires came into being. a dude named Vladimir Lenin, for the Bolshevik revolutions of 1917. He came to power, and then it was really downhill for the rest of the world, right?
Right. For sure.
What's going on in your world? Anything good that we need to talk about?
I know. I once again watched the
Scuttled.
launch for the SpaceX last night.
Yeah.
It's the rescue crew, and it got scrubbed, and hopefully
So-
it will go tonight around
You
7:30.
you ladies have been watching and
Yes.
following this whole thing, right?
Since
Yes.
the beginning.
The,
Yes.
the Space Cadet Patrol, right?
Right.
Mhm.
Okay. So they're setting up. We got two people stuck
Yeah,
in
we
space.
talked
Two
about that.
astronauts, yep.
Uh-huh.
We got two lost in space people, right?
Correct.
And so we're going to go up there. We're sending a boat up there to get them, right?
Well,
A res-
apparently,
A rescue boat. Right?
yes.
And this rescue boat's going to. How many people are they sending up there to get two people back?
It was a total of 8.
They're sending a crew of 8
hmm
to rescue two people that have been stuck since last year.
Why do you need 8?
That's my question. That thing's already going to be crowded, isn't it? With
Yeah.
8 people on board, you're going to add 2 more.
Mhm.
Who are you going to throw out?
Maybe more coming
And I
back.
understand.
Well, right now it's actually 4 that's in the
Uh
ship itself, but it's a total of 8 crew. So I don't know where the other 4 go.
huh. Hanging on the
I
outside.
don't know. Maybe they're going to take turns going up there sitting in the station. I don't know. The whole thing is, because I thought it was.
So, how would you like to be the volunteer? How would you volunteer to go up there now? After
No,
Right.
I wouldn't have done it before that, but certainly would not now.
Right.
we need some volunteers. You guys who were out partying last night, raise your hands. You don't know the difference. So,
Yeah, I see. I thought it was down to Elon sending his stuff up there, but no, it is NASA.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know why Elon had not already gone up there. And
Well, I watched the SphereX launch the night before, which is NASA's, and that's a special satellite that they launched into space that will stay up there for a year, and they will collect data on over 450 million galaxies
And then what?
and 100 million stars. They may find life on another planet. There could be another one of us on.
we
planet
don't need
somewhere.
that. We got enough problems here. we got problems with illegal aliens from inside this country. What are we going to do with
And then
those
the
from
week
another galaxy?
before, Elon's Starship, they launched it, and it went all the way through separation, and the rocket booster came back down like it was supposed to. But then the actual ship itself kind of went wacky and exploded, which we talked about. And they had to delay air traffic and reroute air traffic for debris coming down out of the sky.
all y'all who want to volunteer to go up there,
Nope,
step forward.
not me.
Oh, no.
Because you know what? You go up there, you get stuck, and 8 months later, and we're still trying to rescue them.
I just wonder. No, I don't.
I
Yes,
just
I do.
wonder, 2 people alone like that for 8 months.
They're not alone. They got others up there too, right?
No, the ones that are up there right now, which, they know everybody can watch them, but I don't know if I wouldn't be like, after a while, wanting to. And we discussed other things before we went on air this morning. How did they do this? How did they do that?
You were getting personal there.
Yeah, but think about it.
Bodily functions. And all that.
Yes. And the female, her hair stays up in the air all the time, because of the gravity. Well, do you have a special room that you go into where there's no gravity that you can do personal things? Think about it. They don't have like a rotor-rooter that goes up there and empties their
Septic tank.
It's all crazy. I don't know. I'm going to have to get more into this.
You think we got problems in the oceans and people dumping stuff in there? Can you imagine all that stuff floating around in space?
There's a whole bunch of stuff floating around in
And it
space.
does
Yes.
not disseminate.
Yeah, I know.
Sooner or
that's
later,
like I
it
was
comes
asking.
crashing to Earth.
You're up there. What if there's asteroids? How do you duck an asteroid?
You don't.
And Rafer says, no, they have repellent. I'm like, okay.
She bought it.
I'm going to have to delve more into this. I used to really be into it back many, many, many years ago, but I've just gotten back into it with the challenges from Elon Musk, the SpaceX founder, and then all this stuff that NASA's doing now. And because, we took such a lull in it for many years.
Mhm. You ever been an astronaut? Anybody that's actually been in space? I don't mean people that are in space while they're walking on Earth.
I was going to say, yeah, to that, but
But have you ever talked with one or met one or had any one-on-one?
No, I don't
No.
think so.
There was a guy from, was it not Brunswick, maybe Columbus County or Bladen County or somewhere down that way. He was an astronaut,
Mhm.
and he was a special guest
Chris.
at the Isaiah Festival one year.
Chris Marks.
And I, because I got a chance to spend like 4 days with him. Speaking of the Isaiah Festival, it's coming up again here this coming month, so we're going to be talking about that in a little bit too. I'm actually going to have some tickets to give away to a concert
Nice.
there, so y'all need to stay tuned for that. I'll let you know when it's
Okay.
going to be and all that. So, but anyway, I did spend some time with him. He was just a good old boy. He was down to earth, pardon the pun, but he came
Down
to.
to
He was,
Okay.
and matter of fact, he took my camera. He says, "This is exactly the camera that we were using up on the shuttle. Same thing." So
Wow.
I said, "You don't," and he took that and he took pictures of me doing things. So the better pictures than I have. So that's kind of cool.
Oh, nice.
Chris, how are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing good. It's interesting that the four that are getting ready to go up. How do they pick those four? Because you got one from Japan, I think, one from Russia, and then two Americans. I was curious how they pick out the people that are going to make the trip up to the space station.
I don't know. They did something in Australia way back when. How they settled Australia. They took people out of prisons in Great Britain because they were running out of space. They sent them to Australia. I'm just wondering, are these some overflow? They didn't have enough room for them in prisons in Japan and the US and wherever else they came from. So they just picked four. Y'all want to get out of prison for a while? Let's go up there to the space station.
Well, one time they sent up test monkeys.
There you
Or
go.
something. See how they did, So, but to answer your question, I think what was your question?
Before we got
I'll try.
So we were trying to talk around it. Yeah,
for
go
this-
ahead.
Okay, let's call it waste. The waste. It goes into metal containers that are then shot out of there, and then they burn up in space into re-entry into Earth.
Oh, so they send them back to Earth, and none of that stuff gets loose and
So
ends
they
up.
send that stuff back to
Well,
Earth.
I'm not going to say, Rayford, I'm not going to say it doesn't, but I hope that most of it does burn up in space.
Have you ever
I guess we could
wondered?
always-
Have you ever wondered on an absolutely crystal clear blue day, not a cloud in the sky, nothing, and you're standing outside and a big old airplane flies over with, and suddenly there's some little droplets hitting you in the face? You ever think about that?
Man, there's stuff falling from so many places I can go with this. But I'm not.
Well, actually, Kathy asked me that because on our way back from the Dominican, she had to use the restroom. She goes, "Where's it go?" I went, "It's collected, and then it's hopefully sucked out of the airplane after it lands." So, good question. On a better note, I do have your tickets. Our tickets are for the Crime Stopper
Yay.
fundraiser are officially in,
And they're on
we'll
sale.
be getting them out. They're on sale now, yeah. And use them the 1st through the 30th of April at Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue on Cumberland Road, Yop Road. Pick out your own two sides. No, Rayford. Or actually, I think Lee, maybe it was
Lee?
you that wanted banana pudding.
Banana
One of
That
you two
wasn't
wanted-
me. That was Lee.
Well, with the money I have saved on not having
You'll
to pay
buy some.
taxes, I'll buy my own banana pudding. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. But so if anybody wants tickets, any Crime Stopper member will have them as long as you know who your Crime Stopper members are, which I like to pass that out at some point. But you can also call me at 910-389-8698, and I'll meet you just about anywhere, just about any time, and exchange tickets for a check or cash.
There you go. This is a great cause and does it benefits you too, folks. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
can. I know you're going to eat there anyway, sooner or later, during April. Even if it was you didn't have plans for April, now you do. That's the thing, and you don't have to buy just one ticket. You can buy 4 tickets for you, just for you, and eat once a week there. A lot of people to Smithfields during any given month. They go once a week.
It's cheaper than going to the grocery store.
Oh yeah. I mean, when I go in there, I never go, and I know you law enforcement folks eat there because I see the cars
Mm-hmm.
there. Okay, and I still stop. I don't care. It's all right.
Look, for those with you electric vehicles, you can go charge up your car and get a good meal.
They got charging stations.
Yes, they do. The one on Gumbridge.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think there's
they've
like
got those.
5 or 6 of them.
So for $10, you can get a meal, and your meal consists of either chicken or dead pig, barbecue. You get one or the other, and you can pick the 2 sides that you want. Dessert excluded. You can buy your dessert separately. I mean, lay out some cash while you're there too. These folks are doing a great job
sure.
Oh yeah. Well, some
crime
of that
shoppers.
ticket money is going to them.
Yes, it is. So
Doing two
that's
nice
good. And
things.
so you can do that, and you can charge your car, eat a meal. Hey, by the time you go up, you're good to go.
Meet some nice people.
Mm-hmm.
And now I've never been into a closed session of any of our governmental entities, but maybe they want to buy some for their closed session and eat before they do
What
their
you
closed
know,
session stuff.
Chris, I believe there's a commissioner meeting that's coming Monday night. You should go in there, public comment, and say, "Hey, Crime Stoppers is having a fundraiser. Let's do it."
Well, why don't you just go in there
Well,
instead of doing it that way? Why don't you come out like you and I would do it? You know, guys, you know how much effort that the county and the cities do to support. We thank you, and you guys are doing a great job.
Here, buy a ticket.
The citizens of Onslow County
Right.
are doing a great job. Now you can do one step beyond, and I've got tickets here for sale. Put your money where your mouth is, right?
I'm going to try to figure out how to change shirts real fast.
Oh,
Because I'm going to go up and I'll speak for Crime Stoppers, and then change shirts and speak for Wreath Across America.
oh, I know. They've got a place there set up for you to do that. They
A phone booth?
Yeah, they got a phone booth right outside the door.
There are no
Superman
phone
booth.
booths. But we talked about this yesterday. Superman changing his clothes, etc.
Yes.
You wanted to help him. That was the problem.
Well, if he needs something zipped or something buttoned, hey, I don't know how we even got into this again.
Thank you so much. But again, I want to thank Live and Local Real Talk, you three fine public service of Onslow County and Jacksonville and other areas for allowing me to come on and mention a few of the charities that I do, and I appreciate it.
When you got things, anybody's got things that we really truly believe in, and
Yes.
we really on board with them. Anybody's welcome to do their thing here for whatever their causes that they like. That's cool.
Are you watching?
But if I really like something, like Crime Stoppers for one, and the Wreaths Across America for 2. So you got a twofer there with me right up front.
Right.
But if you do that, we got
Which
plenty,
we
we got
have.
plenty of time.
Yeah, and we're wearing our wristbands, Chris.
Well, I had taken mine off
Thank you.
and I lost it, Chris.
He did this morning.
I couldn't find it.
Then he
No,
found
I
it.
have another one for
No, no,
you.
you don't
I have
have
one for
to.
Kelly.
You don't have to. Kelly's got hers.
Mhm.
Lee's got hers. I found mine, and it was hiding in plain sight. I secured it yesterday before I left because I had a couple of other things to do. Are you watching?
Are you
Of course I'm
watching?
watching.
Okay.
He's going to hold it up.
This is a pill bottle, an empty pill bottle that I had here in front of me on my desk, and I put the bracelet around that. So I would remember where it was,
And
I
couldn't
put
see it.
right in front of me.
Yep.
And the problem is it's camouflage. It's camouflage color, and I couldn't see
He
it.
blamed it on that,
That's what he
Chris.
did.
He was looking all over for it this
Folks.
morning.
For 5 minutes. I'll look for it.
Then he goes,
And I thought maybe it was one of them Kelly's.
have you
did
ever
there.
done something to make you feel stupid? And I go, well, all the time. He goes, and he held up that pill bottle, and I
And
was
she
like,
cracked up. So anyway,
It was
so much for that.
Yeah.
Well, again, thank you three so much for the time that you allot me to talk about these charities.
Our pleasure. Thank you for doing what you're doing.
Well, we thank you for your support. We couldn't do nothing without you folks letting us get on and talk about it, because a lot of people listen to the show, they tell me they hear it, then they buy the ticket or they
Good.
buy the REITs. And
Good.
Well, we'll
appreciate
keep plugging
what you
it.
do.
Keep reminding me.
Absolutely. You're up here at the top, and as soon as we get the tickets, whenever you bring them by, we'll get ready. I got to go
Okay.
by. I'm going to go by and just do a sample platter one day, just to take a look, see what I really want.
Get banana pudding.
Oh shit. Okay. Thank
I'm
you.
Oh,
I need an
banana
extra
pudding.
ticket, Rayford. Okay.
I don't
I
need an
have to
extra
go to the
ticket,
grocery
but
store and
I
get
don't
some
need an extra
bananas.
ticket. I'll go by there and I'll just I'll buy a little sample of this, a little sample of that. They'll do it.
Sure, they will.
No,
I tell you,
Sure.
anytime I've ever been in there, they've been more than accommodating, and especially
absolutely.
if you're buying a large amount for an event.
Sure.
Very accommodating. So
All right. Chris, thank you, sir.
Wonderful. Thank you. Y'all have a blessed day.
You
Thank
you
you so much.
too.
Got some good news.
Please share.
A ridge of high pressure will remain in place into the
Mhm.
weekend, and that will bring fair weather to our area. Yay. It's about time to have something like that. The next potential frontal system that it's going to impact the area will be this late in the weekend, probably Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening.
Yes.
Offshore today and out to 20 nautical miles, southwesterly breeze, 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet, waves from the southwest at 3 feet, 5 seconds apart, meeting easterly waves every 8 seconds. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop. Tomorrow, northeasterly winds 5 to 10, becoming easterly in the afternoon, 2 to 3 footers. Sounds and rivers a light chop. Good chance of some patchy fog on tomorrow morning, though. Watch out for that if you're going offshore, especially. Saturday, southerly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop.
Today, mostly sunny, a high of 78. We could have some wind gusts of 15 mile an hour or so. Tonight, mostly cloudy, eventually, then becoming clear, which is a great thing considering it's a blood moon tonight. A low of 49. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 75. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, low of 56. And on Saturday, mostly sunny, a high of 77. However, the winds will be from the south, 5 to 13 miles an hour and 22 mile an hour gusts.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
Have you ever wondered how so many illegals ended up in this country? Have you ever wondered how many there are in this country that we know about? Over the past 4 years or so, we've had stories coming out of Washington that how they were arresting all these people. Do you know that during the previous 4 years administration, they arrested a lot of people, right? This is going to be a little revealing to you when you get down to boil it down to the real story. Since the 20th of January this year, that's when Trump took office, right?
Right.
He hit the ground running. He stepped to the side, dodging all the barbs from the Democrats, and let's get real here, a bunch of Republicans as well. Since he was sworn in, the number of illegals arrested in less than 2 months, the number of illegals who have been arrested, the word arrested is key here, in less than 2 months has outpaced all of the real arrests during the final 12 months of the Biden administration in less than 2 months. Real arrests. What am I talking about? You want to know why? Why not ask the prior administration? According to Trump, now this is according to Trump, someone was cooking the books, covering up the fact that very little was actually being done to stop illegal immigration. Or what about all those arrests that they claimed they were making? Well, was all of this an oversight or was it a conspiracy? Imagine if there had been another 4 years of that kind of mismanagement. Maybe it wasn't mismanagement. Maybe the simple answer is that it's a good old-fashioned corruption case. Who inside the Biden administration was profiting? That should be the question we're asking, and a question that we should demand answers to. There's nothing that Biden personally had to gain from all of this. I want you to understand, Biden had nothing to gain. He thought he was going to be reelected. That was just a pipe dream. He was ready to pack it in and settle down on the beach, though. Hunter, no way. He didn't have anything to gain. Trump would not have allowed him access to anything significant. So who is responsible for all this mess during the Biden years? Who's young enough and greedy enough and conniving enough to get into Biden's good graces? I don't have an answer, but they're looking for him. According to an ICE investigation, every person that ICE was processing and releasing into the United States during those 4 years to do whatever they wanted to do, every one of those people, the people that walked up to the Border Patrol guys and said, I'm here, take me into custody, they don't take them into custody during those 4 years because they were forbidden to arrest them.
Right.
But guess who's their listing is being arrested? According to ICE, the investigation, everybody that came up to and was processed was sent out into the United States, here and there and everywhere else. Biden's administration is now claiming they were arrested. They were not arrested. I know what happens when you arrest somebody. Y'all have seen on TV what happens when somebody gets arrested. They put them in handcuffs and they put them in a secure place, right? That's the way things work.
Okay. Well, I'm just popped funny you brought that up. Apparently, all the people that were being housed at Guantanamo has been the last 40, they've been brought back to the U.S. and they're in Louisiana now.
They're going to be tried. You can't try them in Guantanamo.
Well, according to this, they just are not housing them there.
Not housing them in Guantanamo.
No.
That's what I say. They have to come back into the U.S., the continental United States, to have
Some
a
of
trial.
them were deported to Venezuela. 177 went in February. And then I'm reading this. See, they've got Guantanamo has a separate space called Migrant Operations Center. And they put 17 of the ones as of Monday there.
Those are the ones they recently caught.
Well, some of these are considered high threat.
If you're from Venezuela,
Yeah.
you're in this
I
country
agree.
illegally, you ought to be considered high threat. We should consider you high threat. Tell me why we would not.
So tomorrow, a D.C. federal court will hear arguments. And the ACLU has filed against the government. And they're going to hear arguments that they do not need to be, that we don't need to be doing this. It's a bunch of
I don't
nonsense.
think so, too. Just small leaky boat and here's a paddle.
So,
Reverend, remember when I brought up the story Monday about the gentleman that shot himself in the foot trying to kill a bug? I've got another one for you. All right. Because I've already made my conclusion on what really happened here. Police said the victim, let me go back up. I'm sorry, I scrolled down too far. Okay, this is dog accidentally shoots owner after getting paw stuck in trigger guard.
well, how is the dog even or near the trigger
I hope
guard?
they did a GSR on him. Okay, a dog managed to fire a gun and wound his owner in an accidental shooting in Memphis on Monday. The 39-year-old victim was relaxing and talking with a female friend on his bed when the dog jumped up onto the bed.
The female friend and the guy were in the bed.
Yes, and the dog
And they
jumped
were
up on the bed.
talking.
The dog's paw got stuck in the trigger guard
Mhm.
and hit the trigger, discharging the gun. Now, we've all shot weapons. We know.
I want to know what kind of gun this was.
Well, police said the victim was grazed in the left thigh. Officers later found a single spent shell casing on the floor. The man was treated on the scene and later taken to a medical center for additional aid. His injury was not deemed critical. The victim's female friend, who police have not publicly identified, left the scene after the shooting. When the
Went
officers
home to her husband.
When the officers asked the victim, or to the street, and when officers asked the victim where the weapon was, he advised that the female friend took it when she left. And Memphis Police Department spokesman said he had no further information.
Oh,
Now, they identified the dog as a 1-year-old
Killer.
pit bull named Oreo. And a friend of the victim said that the pit bull is really friendly and that his friend was fine after the shooting. Now, First of all, you have a trigger guard. You have to insert finger into the area and you have to pull with some force in order to fire the weapon. You cannot tell me a dog's paw
I
got
agree.
stuck in it.
Which
I agree
kind
with that.
of weapon, handgun was it?
Does
Was it
not
a
say.
semi-automatic or a revolver?
First of all, if you've got a female friend on the bed with you and you're just talking, why do you have a weapon laying up next to you?
True that.
And second of all, it
In
kind
the
of
bed?
Yes.
Hmm.
And the dog jumped up and got his paw stuck in the trigger guard and pulled the
How
trigger.
old was the pit bull?
Well, how big
1
is this
year.
trigger guard? I mean, come on
there
now.
you go. There's how 1-year-old pit bulls. They got little tiny paws, right?
No, they got big paws by a year. Yes.
Now,
It's not going to fit in the trigger guard.
second, well,
Mhm.
even if it did, second, if it's a revolver, you've got to pull that thing all the way back. You can't just
That's
touch
right.
the
That's what I'm
trigger and make it
saying.
go boom.
Correct.
This is the revolver. So we'll do the process of elimination. So unless you can show me something differently, I'm going to pretty well rule out revolvers, double action revolvers.
I've ruled out this whole story with the dog.
I like the story. Then for the semi-automatic, you've got the double action only. You've got the single action for the first shot. You've got again, it depends. There's so many possibilities here. None of them viable with that story that fits the narrative. This would be 1 in a million. Now, if the weapon was malfunctioning and the guy had a semi-automatic with a hammer cocked, single action or double action, either one, if he had it cocked and the doggy could take one paw and hold the other safety down, the manual safety down, and then pull the trigger with the other paw, well, I mean, he's got 4 legs. He might be able to do it.
I just don't believe any of the story. I do not believe in his female friend left early and took the gun with her. Mm-hmm.
Left
Yeah.
early.
Yeah. She left before the police came.
Oh, yeah.
What if it only grazed his leg? Why even report it? Clean your leg and put a Band-Aid on it. I'm telling the whole story doesn't shake right to
This
me.
was in Memphis.
Yes.
Too much barbecue sauce.
Well, I
Of
got
the
a,
wrong kind.
Crawdads.
I got a question for you. I'm going to give you I want your
Right.
opinions on this.
Go with it, girl.
All right. So here in Apex, North Carolina, which is Wake County, okay? So there's a state representative named Erin Pare, and apparently
Mm-hmm.
this one falls under her area, her jurisdiction of who she represents. So she rejected, so she was asked by the Apex officials, there was like a town breakfast, and they wanted to speak with legislators about laws they want, that the town wants approved, that's going to benefit them for the upcoming year. Well, apparently last year, now let me back up to say Miss Pare is not a new representative. She's been in our state legislature a good while, and apparently has a lot of power, a lot of friends in high places, and is very good at what she does. She's very, very well respected in the state by both Republicans and Democrats. Okay. So apparently a town employee of the town of Apex doesn't like her.
Mm-hmm.
So started sending her, quote, very inappropriate emails and voicemails, mad about something. So
Chris Miller.
so the town, so the lady finally said, I'm not going. Well, first of all, she sent a complaint, said this employee's harassed me, whatever. And so the town claims they did a investigation.
Mm-hmm.
And found out that they said the employee didn't do anything wrong. So it kept on. And so finally she has sent an email to the town, said, I'm not coming to your breakfast. This is how you handle things, blah, blah, blah. And WRAL got a hold of the emails and voicemails, and they're like, oh my. So they were cussing. She cussed her out, all kinds of names, yelling about signs, and just all kinds of crazy stuff.
So who is this assailant related to?
The assailant's not related to anybody. She just
Oh, okay.
works for the town of Apex.
And not the mayor's daughter or anything.
No. She's
Just
just an
checking.
employee. So the town claims, well, what an employee does on their off time is, we can't have no control over. Well, the
We can't
legislation.
do.
Well, now the General Assembly's gotten a hold of it, and they're like, hold up. This woman has done a lot, apparently. She's got a lot of influence, and she is the co-chair of the House Appropriations Committee. And apparently she's gotten a lot of things passed that other people could not. And matter of fact, she's even helped Apex, a bill that directly benefited Apex on their hiring. And Apex actually acknowledged WRL when they got a hold of this, that Ms. Parry was instrumental in getting that bill passed. So then, so a lot of Republicans and somebody who's a political science professor in Raleigh at Meredith College said, look, Ms. Parry's proposals are taken very seriously by Republicans who control the legislature. They said, this is not a freshman legislator who may not be taken seriously. She's taken very seriously. And she's only one of a very few Republicans who have won elections in heavily Democratic areas. She's very well respected. So they're like, I don't know what Apex is doing, but they are stupid. And so my question to you is, now, sometimes you hear stories of, like, let's say teachers, I'm going to use teachers as an example, who've gotten fired for like Facebook posts they've made and stuff. And even people,
Police officers,
even business people, business owners or business employees or employees of big companies.
If you bring disrespect to your company,
Correct.
or whatever, then the companies can do that. Now, if you're going to have to find a very good, indisputable reason for taking action, because they're going to come back and sue you. I have the right to free speech. And you know what? I do this and I do that. But I will tell you what, the chances are pretty good that if she's doing this kind of stuff, there are other reasons that they can find to dump her. To be honest with you.
Well, they're claiming they can't, but
there's something out there.
A bunch of political analysts got together and they said, look, given the General Assembly's power over the municipalities here in North Carolina, they said, these people are crazy. It would be unwise for any town official to antagonize a legislator who's a member of a major party. And they said, and one guy from Western Carolina, he's a political science professor, he even went further and said, look, in a state like ours where the General Assembly reigns supreme, it's like walking into the lion's den with a stake in your hand and tempting them to take your arm off.
Well, I agree with all of the above. However, that does not give a town the right to come down, or any company the right to come down on a person if they wouldn't do it for some. Let's say there's a legislator that has like been not so nice to Apex.
Yeah.
Would they come after the person for that?
Right. And she's
if they would, if they would, it doesn't matter whether she's benefited them or not.
Mm-hmm.
She has no more standing for her safety or whatever to be ridiculed than anybody else. Whether whether she's friendly to Apex or whether Apex hates her because she has never done anything for Apex. So the town, if they would not treat her, if they're not treating this person any differently than they would somebody else who blasted somebody that Apex doesn't like.
Well, the town managers keep saying, look, we weren't involved in that. But that is your employee acting up your phone.
Now, the problem is everybody who said, well, she's such a good woman to do this and this and this. Why isn't Apex coming to her aid? No. Apex has got no right to come to her aid any more than they would come to somebody else's aid who doesn't like Apex.
How would you handle this employee?
I would look through the books and see what kind of rules and regulations we have and deal with her accordingly.
Right.
You know, is there something that you brought disrespect to the town of Apex? And regardless of who this person is, it could suppose it came against you.
Mm-hmm. More than likely,
suppose she said stuff to you, blasting you.
More than likely, if she's doing all this, then she's probably got some issues at her job too.
I'm sure there's some other issues there.
Yeah.
And speaking of issues,
it's the one and only.
The very only. It is now Miller time. Good morning, Chris. How are you?
Joke for you to start.
I'm doing good, my friend. How are you? How are y'all doing this morning?
Go ahead, Chris. Tell the joke.
You got a joke for me?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess a good joke popped in my head when you were talking about the dog and the gun, and I guess the dog shooting people up or something like that.
Uh-huh.
But, did y'all hear about the three-legged dog that walked into the bar and said, "Who shot my paw?"
Oh my!
I like that.
It's the lame is funny. I like it.
See, I like.
Sorry, I'm not a comedian, but
You shot my
I
paw.
thought of I heard that joke before, and I wanted to.
Oh, it's timely. I like it.
Oh my gosh.
See, I like funny things like that.
You should see the look on Rayford's face.
So if a pig
Well,
loses so I got a question. If a pig loses his voice, is he disgruntled?
Oh my
Oh,
God!
God.
See,
This is now, here we go.
What do you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef.
Yeah, real close to the ground beef.
Kelly, got a deck of cards on.
I know, right?
Just go ahead and play fish
Yeah.
or something.
I'll save some of the rest of them, like the lawyer's ones.
So I hope everybody's doing well, and it's the weather's starting to warm up a little bit, and so it's nice to be able to go outside and enjoy some baseball and softball and soccer and all the outdoor sports. So hoping this weather holds up.